this. Blake Baggett on the #1 is back in action with a whole shot.
Important on that Rockstar Suzuki, yellow and black just to his right. He's a veteran, and the rookie is wet.
And now he's trying to get around Webb for third, and he does.
Wow, look at that move there. Aggressive. And look, it's only taking them, what's that, 6 minutes, 5 minutes to get into that position?
Yeah, we didn't even see grip.
And so if you don't have that movement, that range of motion in your wrist, you end up having to move your, and you can see the 3 riders out front, they are definitely fired up, and they are ready for this Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship.
And Ken Roczen, while we were at a break, just made the move. The #94 past the #17 of Eli Tomac.
Roczen is really, he's going for the lead.
Trying to get around his teammate Muscan, and he does, just like that. Look, we saw that coming. Tack these guys, went by both, and yeah, opening up a gap. Tomac knows he's got to go, and Baggett's back in the hunt. Tonight, the UFC prelims are on Fuel TV Live. 3 hours of explosive action, UFC prelims live tonight, 6.
Yeah, these guys are in such peak physical condition. These motos are just no peak.
Get the lead in this one, and then was able to put a little distance on them. Ken Roczen wins the first moto of the year. And it's the 338. Zach Osborne, he's going for the lead.
And who's that privateer that was third around the second turn with a great start?
Also, you got Anderson in there on the #21. But yeah, how about that? Osborne's still able to edge him out. Doesn't matter, they're teammates. Wow. Every man for himself in motocross.
Look how much to watch Tomac. Let's see if he jumps a quad. He's full on.
There it
Goes
is.
for it.
Oh, and Osborne's off the track and down.
That's the key. He's going to be all over it.
If the win streak stays alive, the surf streak stays alive. So maybe that'll be our season's only 2 races deep, my man. This is going to be good.
Hey, you know who's close to Roczen right now? Take a guess.
Tell us what the difference is now.
2.1 seconds. And look at this. Eli Tomac starting to put the pressure on.
A stir here in Colorado. They can see it in front of them, just like Tomac. Woo! No problem getting over the quad. Still about 2.1 seconds, but you know Tomac is going to keep digging, keep going after him here.
So that's 23rd. Get past pretty clean. So now the lead. Last lap.
Obviously, it's paid off for him.
20 seconds when the leader comes by. We didn't make it.
So how about that? You said, Jeff, they just missed getting to the finish line. They got there with 18 seconds to spare, so they won't get the 2-lap card until the next time a rider.
Tomac is one of those that his audio sound is very clear. He's a type of rider that over-revs the bike quite a lot in southern Colorado.
Yeah, he's actually close to the New Mexico state line. It's not like this is necessarily his backyard.
Off turns, he's not burying it. He's staying really light through these turns, which is something that he has not always done. But look at this, a little bit more allowing him a wheel. Roczen had to go wide right there. The crowd, big crowd here at Thunder Valley. Watch this, Tomac to the inside room.
Savaji, who was up front early, he's obviously gone down. He is now a lap.
Watch when they come over this massive triple jump here. Look at how many fans are in this area of the track.
Oh, traffic. These riders are running well. We're talking about top 15.
That line right there through that drop-off, that corner of that drop-off, Tomac is really quick with a couple of bike links.
White flag is out, and we've got a showdown here in Colorado. Past the mechanics area they go. He's on the outside, Tomac to the inside.
Now, it looks like they have a pretty clear track here for a while. I'm not seeing any other riders up to 5 seconds.
Crazy. They have just pushed it like no one else can.
He has to be really careful here. He has to have no mistakes. If he slips up one little bit, Tomac is there. Remember those two? Tomac, he carried so much momentum. Look at that, he's close once again through this massive fan area.
Tomac entered that corner with a ton of speed a lap ago.
And he's got a good line right there, too.
Oh, Tomac is the front end. Finish. What do you think happened there? Finish, but Ken Roczen's going to keep it going. 3 moto wins. And it's a 77. Jeremy Martin, can he hold on to it? Yes, he does. Before the race, probably kicked it 10 or 12 times. And how many times, Jeff, do we see when a rider struggles to barely start the bike? They get a good start.
Lead.
Tomac down to the inside, takes it from Martin as well. Martin, a rookie, raced 2 races at the end of the year last year, coming out of the amateur.
Inside going to work. The bikes are bouncing around. Roczen goes from the inside out to the middle.
Tomac, meanwhile, goes from second to first.
Tomac, the Colorado native, with the lead, and Roczen goes into second.
Persistence by Roczen.
Streak going right now. You got to think both these guys are going to leave it all on, out there on the track here in this moto. But what a test here for Ken Roczen now.
Martin trying to take 4th place away.
Roczen off the track.
Gonna lose a little ground there.
Seen so far this year, so first little bit of weakness here out of the Red Bull KTM.
The white flag here. Tomac, he done checked out. It's 23 seconds. That's the lead. We heard there's about 22,000 people here on hand. There's going to be a lot more than 22,000 who claim the definition of determination. Osborne just wouldn't give up, wouldn't take no for an answer, takes second, and Tomac wins big. It's a different guy, Johannes. The 338, Zach Osborne battling it out. You got Martin.
Look at Bogle all over the place from the right, all the way out to the left, just to find a smooth line.
Since we're looking to run the outside as they head to this big tabletop. Oh!
So hard to tell, but yeah, I do know he caught that ledge right there. And the rest was history.
On Tomac, though.
First and second in points. Roczen and Tomac. Oh, look at Tomac riding the wide. He's not going to let off.
He knows he's got to make this pass and stick with Roczen, and he does.
Squeezing that front brake lever with his right hand.
His best moto of the season so far. Osborne's had a couple of seconds and thirds this year, but he hasn't won one yet. Would like to get that done today.
Get to follow him a little bit, wear him down, maybe try to force a mistake.
Yeah, your leader last time around, Osborne, 220 flat.
It's behind Roczen in the standings. He gained 3 more on him in the first moto, so second half of the year, every point's going to count between these two. The inside, Jeff, I don't want to interrupt, but he might make the move for the lead right here. Oh, hit one of those hooks in that rut. Doesn't care. Now you got to be careful. He's scrubbing opposite directions. Headed to the sand. Which line's going to work best?
I think it was nice.
Oh! And they run into each other. So the industry hangs out as far as the hotels, and that's where all the truckers come and gather and work on the bikes to prepare to move into.
That is a really unique situation.
The entire team is 4th. Tomac won the first moto, but Roczen bounces back in Moto 2 and wins the overall here at Redbud. A bunch of Geico Hondas off the line together, and it's going to be Will Hahn
who takes the lead here. Roczen has a good start. Does he go off the track? No. He got really sideways.
Get around his teammate Osborne. That's Tomac on 17. Oh, Osborne makes a mistake. Loses the front end. Great scenario is shaped up here. First, Bogle, just like he did in Moto 1, has got the great start. And he's got company from his teammate Tomac, who immediately goes into the lead.
From winning Moto 1, is going to reign supreme.
First, Roczen has to deal with Tomac's teammate, like you mentioned, and Bogle could play some deep on this track. Certainly picturesque to watch, but the track itself is brutal. See, you have allowed the 17 to extend the lead just a little bit, but look at that Geico countdown clock, top of the screen. A long way to go. See the points break down the top of the screen. We pay championship points in each moto. The difference between a first and a second, not too far from here. I'll tell you what, Eli Tomac, Colorado native, certainly seems comfortable on this soil as he's extended the lead over Ken Roczen.
Yeah, Tomac has the luxury now in this final lap. He can be really careful with the lapped riders. He can cruise around a little bit, and
he's going to win Moto 1 and Moto 2 here at Washougal. Eli Tomac is your winner. And it's Will Hahn again with Musquin and Bogle on the 94.
There he is. He's just got passed by Bogle.
Yeah, he's apparently buried right now, so it's Baggett going to try to put the pressure on. He was 6th in Moto 1.
There he is, right there, middle of your screen, mid-pack.
7 or 8 in the midst of that lap we just completed, and now Roczen's going to try to complete the pass for the lead, and he does.
Eli Tomac, dominant in Moto 1, won both motos 1 week ago. He is your your points leader
cares. He wants to finish in front of Roczen in this race and make up more points. And here he comes, about 2 seconds faster. Tomac gets you the way he's been riding lately. He's awfully tough to stop.
Oh, he is carrying so much momentum right now, working next to Baggett. Baggett looks over at him. It's a drag race up the hill.
Tomac was underneath him, scrubbing those jumps. He goes to the outside.
Your leader, Tomac, has caught him, and Tomac slices his way to the lead. Wow, takes
play. The pass for second, Tomac was right in front of Roczen. Now you got to give Roczen a little bit of credit. I was just trying to minimize the damage. He's trying to hang with Tomac here. Time running out in this one. I can point out, see the Geico countdown clock. We are within 15 minutes of the finish to this one, 11 minutes, and then 2 laps. And Tomac might have his second straight.
Working on that, working on his technique, and it shows here. The way that he's riding with the type of intensity, the way points lead, and then to leave 27 points up. He got a little lucky. Ken Roczen had a big mistake.
In this championship, that doesn't matter as long as you hold it at the end of the year, and he takes a big step toward doing it, winning the overall. Not this time for Hahn. It's going to be Martin Davalos. And the number 40 has got Roczen right behind him.
Looks like points. And look at this coming into this turn. There's no good line. There's just lines that are better than others as Roczen goes around the outside.
And he's got Tomac right with him. Tomac has got Davalos also, and he gets Anderson.
Whoa, Tomac goes outside to outside. Let's see if this works. And squeezing the handle grips with your arms, and your forearm muscles pump up with blood. And once those pump up, it's impossible to hurt your lap time.
Tomac going after Martin and gets him for third. So had one bad lap, reset it, got back to the 7th
line that Tomac has. He just fires down there, misses all those braking bumps, then switches back to the outside so he can complete this double. Good line around the outside.
Oh, well, his teammates can't figure they're going to come together. So Tomac has now completed the run. 8 seconds to make up on Roczen. It is going to be a great duel through the second half of this motor to see if he can make up some ground.
19 and Tomac at 2:17, so both riders a little bit slower, but the gap 1.8 seconds.
Wow, and it was almost good. You got to figure Roczen's got to do everything he can to hold him back. But what do you do with a guy who's going 2 to 3 seconds a lot faster?
He is absolutely attacking the track everywhere.
Tomac goes to the outside. Can he jump this double? Yes, he gets over.
A lot of time right here. Close right up on the back of Ken Roczen as they drop down the wall. Now Tomac going to the outside. Let's see if this outside line works. Has been just fearless here today on a very, very difficult Unadilla racetrack.
Yeah, you just hear how far those bikes.
Roczen had a tremendous amount of confidence, was very dominant. Now that momentum has switched, and it's been Tomac. If you're Roczen, you have to keep charging. You have to ride smart. You have to force Tomac to try to do something special on that line right there. Look how Tomac gained a little bit of time down that straightaway, plus he was on the inside. He's going to protect it. Now look at Tomac using a lot of momentum. Remember that outside line is really fast at the top of the hill. Drop pass.
Here it is. Roczen gets there and covers it. And he goes for the outside to try to block him again. So Tomac goes even further outside. Well, that's the advantage Tomac has. He knows he has the speed, so he doesn't have to go for the first opening.
Of how both these riders have just held their composure, riding at such a high level. Oh, Tomac to the inside. Guards that inside this time, but he goes wide. Look at Tomac on the gas.
Oh, he got it
on the rear wheel. Minimum around the outside.
Yeah, he squeezed him off.
The lead. Now, Tomac's been taking the inside in this line.
It's a long, sweeping left-hand inside run all the way through, and finally, Tomac's charge to the front is complete. Ken Roczen trying to respond.
Not going to pay off as Tomac doubles. That's going to give him a little gap. Plus this lapped rider on that inside. Roczen's going to have to move around him.
Moto, where he started toward the front during this streak. Otherwise, he's just done the damage coming through the pack and all summer long.
And he's already got a 5.7 second lead over Roczen.
Well, 2:16s, no one on the track is even close to that.
4 more motos, a lot can happen in that time. He's got a nice points lead. They've signed him an extension to bump up to the 450s for next year. So
250 class, that's what's important for now. Eli Tomac wins Unadilla. Justin Bogle at 34 beats everyone to the first turn.
Look at Martin around the outside. Looks like he's possibly gonna make the pass.
Temporary relief then for Osborne. Now I see Jason Anderson peeking and having a tough time starting the bike. Back to this battle. Look at this. Ken Roczen, where did he come from? He passed Anderson and Musquin. Roczen able to make the move on Martin. Yeah, we've seen these types of battles week in and week out. It's hard to believe one rider could be on the precipice of a title. One of him in second and Bogle is in the lead. Now, they told me the math is actually a 4-point lead for Tomac.
Yeah, Tomac's right there
It's
too. Look at the
unbelievable.
intensity in this class right now. We've got 6, 7 riders on our screen.
Bike, the Rockstar Energy Racing ride. And Tomac making moves. Osborne, what has gone wrong for the 338?
And then another, and that's what's happened to Osborne.
That's what this class is all about. Now Anderson going after Martin. I can barely keep track of what position is what.
Leading into that section.
I just want to mention again, Martin that was landed on in that first moto, so he might be feeling the effects. And Tomac just sneaks around.
His bike just plows right through the shortest line.
I'll tell you who's got confidence in the bike right now. It's Roczen. He has caught Bogle. So this
We got a battle for the lead, Jason. It looks like Roczen trying to take the long way around.
Oh, and just able to make it happen. It on the line. Look at Bogle shooting from one side of the track to the other to try to get him back.
I really like the fight.
Back now, blowing the dust across the track. Well, probably blowing the bikes around a bit too.
And also, Jason, it's not just the dust and some of the small debris.
They're trying to learn as much as they can right now. They won't have Tomac to go out there and win the races for them next year. Tomac taking the measure of Bogle now for second. Roczen there in the sand section. It's getting closer. You can hear the fans. They want to see a battle between the top 2 in the series.
Set him up for here. Therefore, I want to be in an opposite place when I go past this slower lap rider.
Now, bear with us. We've actually had to take our make sure to still give you coverage of this as the wind comes in, and Tomac does as well. Now, putting the pressure on Roczen.
Inside lines, look right here. Roczen really trying to hang on to that inside, not allowing any opening for the right side. We'll see if he's looking down to the right side of his bike, possibly. It seemed like that he's losing any time at all, even though his lap time was about a second slower than Roczen's last time around.
Yeah.
Section.
Big jump uphill. He's closed right back in. See your event points. This would be for the overall spot. With about 2.5 laps to go, it's the stretch run. They passed each other 2 or 3 times in one section. Now is that
Tomac had made the pass. Roczen makes the pass back. Now watch Tomac just straight across, gets the line. Now watch Roczen. Gets on the brakes, cuts across. Tomac just checks up and then hammers the throttle.
Woo!
It's unbelievable how the bike just squirted right there to the inside.
Flag is out. It's all on the line right now.
How ironic would it be that Blake Baggett, the reigning champion, makes the pass. Finish.
Yep.
Okay, that sequence, the left and the right.
Baggett, he's alongside. Yeah, I know what section you're Baggett around the outside.
Okay, watch the line that Baggett has right here. This could determine the championship.
Will they have to make a judgment call? They come together. Roczen trying to get defensive.
Baggett
clears that
doubles over,
jump.
he's got it.
He's got second happening. He's just focused on the moto win that he has. And it could be good enough for the title. A drag race down the line, side by side. Title to Tomac. You cannot ask for a closer finish between those two. And the transponder at the line said, well, there's Paggio from Anthony Paggio from Moto.